The coffee shop hummed with the usual Saturday morning energy, but Sarah's hands trembled as she pushed open the glass door, her 5-year-old daughter Mia clutching her free hand. She was 20 minutes late. The babysitter had canceled at the last possible moment, and Sarah had stared at her phone for a full 10 minutes, debating whether to cancel the blind, date entirely, or do something she'd sworn she'd never do: bring her child along. The dating app message from Marcus had been kind, his profile genuine, but no man signed up for a package deal on a first meeting. She braced herself for the disappointment she'd seen too many times before, the barely concealed frustration, the sudden remembrance of another commitment. She'd learned that single mothers carried an invisible warning label in the dating world. Marcus sat at a corner table, and Sarah recognized him immediately from his photos: warm brown eyes, an easy smile, a navy sweater that looked soft and well-worn. He stood as they approached, and Sarah launched into her prepared apology, words tumbling out in a breathless rush. "I'm so sorry. My babysitter got sick and I tried to find someone else, but everyone was busy. And I should have just rescheduled, but I didn't want you to think I was flaking out. And I completely understand if you want to leave." "Hey, slow down," Marcus said gently, his smile never wavering. Then he did something unexpected. He crouched down to Mia's eye level, his 6-foot frame folding with practiced ease. "Hi there. I'm Marcus. What's your name?" Mia, usually shy with strangers, peeked out from behind Sarah's leg. "Mia," she whispered. "That's a beautiful name. I have a daughter, too. She's 7. Her name is Sophie, and she's with her mom this weekend." He glanced up at Sarah, and something in his expression made her chest tighten. "Please sit down." "Both of you." Sarah slid into the booth, settling Mia beside her, still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Men said the right thing sometimes, but their body language told the truth. The checking of watches, the shortened answers, the wandering eyes seeking escape routes. Marcus opened the menu and pushed it toward Mia. "So, Mia, what do you think? They have really good hot chocolate here, and their chocolate chip muffins are huge, like probably bigger than your head." Mia's eyes widened, and the smallest smile tugged at her lips. She looked up at Sarah for permission, and Sarah nodded, feeling something unfamiliar stirring in her chest. Hope, maybe, or something dangerously close to it. The morning unfolded in a way Sarah never could have anticipated. Marcus didn't just tolerate Mia's presence. He engaged with her. When Mia spilled her hot chocolate, he was up with napkins before Sarah could even react, joking about his own daughter's spectacular orange juice incident the previous week. When Mia grew restless, he pulled out his phone and showed her pictures of Sophie's art projects, and the two talked about their favorite colors and animals. He asked Mia questions about her kindergarten class and her favorite books, remembering details and following up with genuine interest. But it was what happened an hour into their meeting that truly changed everything. The coffee shop door chimed, and a harried-looking woman entered, a little boy of about 3 wailing in her arms. The child's cries cut through the ambient noise, and Sarah watched as other patrons shifted uncomfortably, some shooting irritated glances toward the commotion. The woman was clearly at her wit's end, bouncing the boy, whispering urgently, her eyes red-rimmed with exhaustion or tears or both. Marcus's attention shifted immediately. He watched for a moment, then quietly excused himself from the table. Sarah watched, confused, as he approached the woman. She couldn't hear what he said, but she saw the woman's shoulders sag with what looked like relief. Marcus gestured back toward their table, said something else, and then returned with the woman and her son following. "Sarah, this is Jennifer. Her son Oliver is having a really tough morning, and I thought maybe he'd like to see what Mia is coloring. Kids sometimes calm down around other kids." He looked at Jennifer with such kindness that Sarah felt her throat tighten. "Please join us. Let me buy you a coffee." "You look like you could use one." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. "I can't. You're clearly on a date. I don't want to intrude." "You're not intruding," Sarah found herself saying, surprising herself with the conviction in her voice. She slid over, making room. "Please, sit." What followed was unlike any first date Sarah had ever experienced. Jennifer's story spilled out between sips of the latte. Marcus insisted on buying her, a recent widow. Her husband killed in a car accident 6 months ago, struggling to navigate single parenthood in a fog of grief. Oliver had stopped sleeping through the night, and Jennifer hadn't had more than 3 consecutive hours of sleep in weeks. This morning, he'd refused to get dressed, thrown his breakfast across the kitchen, and she just needed to get out of the house before she completely broke down. Mia, sensing another child's distress with the intuition children possess, offered Oliver her crayons. Within minutes, the little boy's sobs had reduced to hiccups, and he was carefully scribbling on Mia's coloring book page while Mia narrated what each color was called. Marcus listened to Jennifer's story with complete attention, asking gentle questions, offering no platitudes or empty reassurances. When Jennifer mentioned she'd been struggling to find affordable childcare so she could return to work, Marcus pulled out his phone. "My sister runs a home daycare. She has a sliding scale for families going through hardship. I'm going to text you her information, okay? Tell her I sent you." "I can't afford," Jennifer started. "Just talk to her," Marcus said firmly but kindly. "She's good people. She'll work with you." They stayed at that coffee shop for 3 hours. Other patrons came and went, but their corner booth became its own small world. 2 women, 2 children, and 1 man who seemed to possess an infinite capacity for compassion. They ordered lunch. Marcus made Mia and Oliver laugh by making silly faces. Sarah and Jennifer exchanged phone numbers, promising to arrange a play date, both recognizing in each other the particular loneliness of single motherhood. When they finally stepped outside into the afternoon sunshine, Jennifer hugged Marcus and then Sarah, holding on perhaps a moment longer than necessary, like someone who hadn't been truly seen in a very long time. Oliver waved enthusiastically at Mia, who waved back with equal vigor. As Jennifer and Oliver walked away, Sarah turned to Marcus, Mia's hand warm in hers. She'd come to this date expecting rejection, braced for disappointment. Instead, she'd witnessed something rare, genuine human kindness, offered without hesitation or expectation of reward. "That was incredibly kind, what you did back there," Sarah said softly. Marcus shrugged, looking almost embarrassed. She needed help. It seemed like the right thing to do. He paused, meeting Sarah's eyes. "Besides, I've been where she is. Not the grieving spouse part, but the single parent feeling like you're drowning part. Sophie's mom and I divorced when Sophie was 2. Those first years were brutal. Someone helped me once when I really needed it, and I never forgot it." "You have a daughter," Sarah said, understanding dawning. "That's why you weren't bothered when I showed up with Mia. You get it." "I get it," Marcus confirmed. "And honestly, Sarah, any guy who'd be bothered by you bringing your daughter isn't worth your time anyway. She's part of your life. That's not a flaw, that's just reality. A good reality." Mia tugged on Sarah's hand. "Mommy, I like Marcus. Can we see him again?" Sarah felt her cheeks warm, but Marcus laughed, delighted. He crouched down to Mia's level again. "I like you too, Mia. You're pretty great. And you're really good at sharing crayons." He stood, meeting Sarah's eyes with a question in his own. "I'd really like to see you both again. Maybe next time we could go to the park. Sophie would love to meet Mia. And you," he added, his smile soft and genuine. "I'd very much like to get to know you better." Sarah thought about all the dates she'd been on over the past 2 years. Since her divorce, all the men who'd seemed promising until they'd learned about Mia, all the times she'd felt like she had to apologize for her life, for her circumstances, for the fact that her heart was already spoken for by a 5-year-old, with chocolate on her face and a voice that called her mommy. "I'd like that," Sarah said, and meant it completely. As they walked to their cars, Mia chattering happily about her new friend, Oliver and asking when they could see Sophie, Sarah realized what had truly changed that morning. It wasn't just meeting Marcus, though he was remarkable. It was witnessing the kind of person he was when no one expected anything of him, when helping someone else's struggle offered him nothing in return. It was seeing someone choose kindness not as a strategy but as a default setting, as simply who they were at their core. 2 weeks later, Jennifer would send Sarah a photo of Oliver on his first day at Marcus's sister's daycare, a genuine smile on his face. 6 months later, Marcus and Sarah would still be dating, their daughters becoming inseparable. But more than that, Sarah and Jennifer would have built a real friendship, a support system born from one chaotic morning in a coffee shop. The blind date hadn't gone as planned. But sometimes the best moments in life are the ones we never could have scripted, the ones where someone's simple act of humanity reminds us that goodness still exists. that kindness still matters, that even our messiest moments can lead to something beautiful.